Hello friends, welcome to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English. This is me, Dr. Sidharth Arora. And friends, we are continuing our series of summary courses of Laxmikanth for polity. And the previous videos, I hope you have all watched. If you have not watched, I would sincerely suggest you that you watch those so that you are able to make connections. I am again and again repeating the same thing. In Civil Service Examination, you are not rewarded, you are not given marks for facts, mere facts. You are always rewarded for connection of facts. And that is why it is very important for all of you that you draw connections from wherever we are studying, whether you are reading, whether you are hearing this in the news, whether you're reading or you're watching this on our videos, draw connections, right? This is called as polity matrix, and that is what I always would suggest. And that is what I make sure that when I am teaching in my Unacademy classes, I ensure that students are able to draw connections and understand the subject the way it is required to be understood. Now, in the same sequence, last video was the salient features of the Constitution of India. Today, we are looking at another important topic, that is the preamble of the Indian Constitution. Now, preamble of the Constitution itself, if I look at this one topic itself, it is worth 200 pages, okay, or 2000 pages for that matter. But we will have to strictly confine ourselves to the limits as given in Laxmikanth. But we are just doing it as a summary course of Laxmikanth. There is far more to it than what is given in Laxmikanth, or for that matter what we can do on a YouTube video. But for the time being, let us cater to this part. So what do? You open your book, read the book parallelly as you're watching this video, or do it subsequently, but make sure that you do both the things. Another important part for all of you, please remember Laxmikanth is a great book. You must read it. You must understand, but this is not the only answer to the problem of civil service examination. Yes, you will be able to address 30 to 40% of prelims exam, but if you want to do it more, you will have to do intense preparation. So let's not get into any wrong or any miscommunication on this side. We are doing Laxmikanth for you so that you will be able to save considerable amount of time while you're reading this book. Now, why are we making these videos? Why are we doing this? Why can't we go straight away to teach you? Why are we helping you out in all ways possible? Because at Unacademy, we have a single point agenda. We have just one aim. We want to help you out in all ways possible, all the ways possible, to ensure that you have a realistic chance of passing this exam. There is nothing called as guarantee, but realistic preparation is a very important and integral part of passing this exam. This should be the only agenda that Unacademy has with you. Now, for this purpose, we have several courses for you. One amongst those courses, Ultimate Crash Course to Crack UPSC CSE 2020. So you have an Ultimate Crash Course to Crack UPSC CSE 2020. This was one of the courses which was going on, and it was a rock solid preparation. We had a very, very intense preparation. Now we are introducing new courses for all of you. So please make note of it. We are introducing new courses for all of you. This will include polity courses as well as other subject courses all across Unacademy subscription. So your time to take a decision is now. Another interesting part over this is Unacademy has drastically reduced its prices. Those of my friends who are taking this exam in 2020 or for that matter even 2021, please choose a 12 months subscription which is available to you at merely 40,000 rupees. In this, use the code SIDLIVE, SIDLIVE, SIDLIVE. You will get an immediate 10% discount, and the price will be now reduced to 36,000 rupees. Those of my friends who are taking this exam in 2022 or for that matter even 23, for that matter even 24, you are very lucky since you have more than 2 years to prepare. Take this 24-month subscription which will give you a rock solid preparation at merely 48,000 rupees. Use my code SIDLIVE, SIDLIVE. You will get an immediate 10% discount, and welcome to our courses at 43,200. Do some maths. 1 year courses for 36,000, 2 year courses for 43,200, a mere difference of 7,200. You're a wise gang of students, my friends. Take a wise decision, but take your decision now. Today's topic, preamble of the Constitution. A very simple question comes to you. Where have we adopted the Constitution's preamble from? So the first country which ever wrote a written constitution was United States. And the first country which actually started its constitution with the preamble was also United States. So obviously it is the United States of America that is our inspiration of writing the Constitution. And what is interesting is even our Constitution starts with the word we the people, and the American Constitution also starts with the word we the people. So in a way, United States of America is the important source and it's a motivation behind the Constitution's preamble. Now there could be a variety of ways in which preamble is described. Some of them are downright wrong, some of them are right, some of them are partially right. We can go all and all about it, but of course in the limited period of time I'll try and explain it to you. Okay, otherwise please, as I said, you're most welcome to join us on our one-to-one classes. Now some say this is a summary of the Constitution, some say the preamble is an essence of the Constitution, some say it is an identity card of the Constitution. These are the various adjectives or so-called descriptions of the preamble that are being used by the various experts. Yes, it is a summary in a way. To a certain extent it is certainly the essence. It is said it is the key to unlock the founding fathers' minds of the Constitution. It is the identity card of the Constitution. Nani Palkhiwala had utilized, he was a great lawyer, he had utilized the word as the identity card of the Constitution. Similarly, K.M. Munshi had described it as a political horoscope, and so on and so forth. The preamble is a very important and a very integral part of our understanding of the Constitution. Let's try and understand this part. So we'll have to go back in time and go back to history. So 9 December 1946 was the first day of the Constituent Assembly's first session. Now the first session started, and on 13 December 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru introduced what is called as Objectives Resolution. If you read the Objectives Resolution, you will understand that it is actually giving you a blueprint of in which direction are we going to form the Constitution. So will we form a democratic structure? Will there be equality, and so on and so forth? Yes. And that started as our so-called blueprint on which we started working towards. Now, 22nd January 1947, this was unanimously adopted and we started building it up. Make no mistake about it. Objective resolution was not actually converted directly into the preamble, but yes, it became a very considerable part of the preamble. Preamble, however, became, or rather was adopted on the last day of, that is on 26 November 1949. The date that is mentioned in the preamble is the date we adopted the preamble. So how interesting is that? If you read the Constitution, the first pages would be the preamble, but it was adopted exactly on the last day. So this was a very interesting part. Hence, I can say that it is actually summarizing the entire Constitution. I hope you have understood how to understand this. So it was a summary of the Constitution which was always made, already made. So this is how you understand this of the preamble. Hence, it is a very important set, and it's a very beautiful way of saying it is the key to unlock the minds of the founding fathers of the Constitution. So this is the Constitution as we are given. So I've just slightly color coded for the sake of understanding of some important points over here. I would sincerely suggest you that all of you memorize the Constitution, rote memorize. It's very important. I sometimes have a nightmare regarding this. I sometimes feel that someday UPSC is going to give you a mains question and say just write the preamble. Imagine. If you don't know the preamble, it will be such an embarrassment. So I would sincerely suggest you that you memorize the preamble. So let's look at this part. So we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economical, political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote amongst them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. On this day, in our Constituent Assembly, on this day of 26 November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. This should be rote memorized. This is very important for you. Another important thing is I've actually slightly color coded this part. First important, most important line, that is the word is we the people of India. Okay. Another important part is that I color coded socialist and secular. Okay. And in fact, I also color coded integrity. So these three words, socialist, secular and integrity, were not present in the original Constitution. This was added later by the 42nd Amendment 1976. Now that brings us to another important, so we can do reverse engineering part. So if you are asked the question, is preamble amendable? You know it is amendable because it has been amended. But how many times it has been amended? It has been amended only once by the 42nd Amendment 1976. So this is the we the people of India. This is the source of power. So who is the source of power, or who is the source of sanction behind the Constitution of India? It is we the people. Very beautiful discussion. When we teach on Unacademy's classes, then we go into much depth of this part. But at that time, we understand that the real source of power is the people of India. Then you look at these words: justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. When you're looking at justice, liberty, equality and fraternity, these are the objectives of the preamble. or rather the objectives of the constitution. So what are we giving? Okay, what is our objective? Where do we want to reach? These are four different words: justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. And finally, the date of adoption, that is 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this constitution. So you must be noticing one word coming again and again. It is we, our, so on and so forth. The idea here is we are no longer a dominion, we are no longer under the Britishers, we are no longer under any foreign rule. This is what is being in the spirit, in the language of the preamble. This is coming again and again. So let's look at each of these words and quickly understand each of them. So what does the word sovereign indicate? Sovereign means we are free to decide. We are free to decide our internal and external decisions. Now, sometimes this starts coming under controversy, okay, or rather a question mark. Since we have already a member state of United Nations Organization, or for that matter the Commonwealth, does it affect our sovereignty? The answer obviously is no. Why? Because none of these decisions which the United Nations takes for us, or any of the recommendations that the Commonwealth or the United Nations are giving to us, these are not binding. We are doing it only and only if we think or we should be doing it. We are a sovereign state, we are a sovereign country, we will decide by ourselves. In India, with this addition or joining of any organization, whether it is United Nations, Commonwealth, BRICS, etc., it does not hamper or does not decrease our spirit of sovereignty. The second word is socialist. As I told you, socialist word was not originally added in the Indian Constitution. There is a reason. The reason was Dr. Ambedkar did not want, or rather the founding fathers did not want you to confuse the word socialist as used by India with the word socialist as used by Marxist socialist. So we did not want this confusion to occur, and that is why, to create or to describe our own brand, which was nothing else but democratic socialization. Instead of Marxist socialism, we were planning on what is called as democratic socialism. Now, what is this democratic socialism? Democratic socialism is 80% of Gandhian socialism and only some fraction of Marxist socialism. So we were believing on equality of status and opportunity, instead of the state controlling all resources and distributing them equally. So we have a democratic socialism concept as compared to Marxist socialism concept. So what is democratic socialism? It aims to end poverty, ignorance, disease, and inequality of opportunity. And you will later see in the preamble itself the word that is used is equality of status and opportunity. Hence, Indian socialism is a blend of, it's a mixture of Gandhian socialism and Marxist socialism, but primarily it is a concept of Gandhian socialism. You cannot, in the worst of your imagination, you can say that we are a Marxist socialist country. Certainly not. Yes, there are certain traces, for example, state-owned enterprises, etc. But primarily, if you look at the liberalization budget, if you know the entire liberalization, privatization, globalization budget, we are practically free market economy. How do we actually say, or how can we say we are Marxist socialist? Then the concept of DPSP and the nationalization, these are very important and very beautiful mixtures of, on one side the state controlling resources, and on the other side talking of nothing else but removal of inequalities. So this is a very interesting concept. Okay, as I said, the paucity of time, I cannot describe it right now, but do you realize, and you must have got a hint of this, that I can speak and discuss much, and it requires much discussion than what we are discussing as of now. So again and again, calling upon you that if you are wanting, please join us on our classes. It will be very beneficial to you. Next is secular. Again, this word was not present in the original constitution. Why? Because we did not want our confusion with Western concept. So the word secular in Western definition is a different word, where it means that there shall be complete divorce between the state and the religion. In contrast, in India, again we believe in Gandhian way of secularism, that is called Sarva Dharma Sambhav, that is equal treatment to all the religions. Does not mean we are divorced, it just means we are giving equal treatment. This was also added, and also very important that all religions are given status, equal status, and also remember that not only the preamble but also in the fundamental rights as part of Article 25 to 28, we have the concept of secularism. Very important word is democracy. So we have what is called popular sovereignty. What does that mean? Remember, we are a sovereign state as a country. We are also sovereign citizens when it comes to choosing our representatives. So our electoral process has to be free, fair and regular. As a citizen, when I am choosing my representative, I am free of any external influence. This is two types of democracies are world over recognized. One is direct democracy, one is indirect democracy. India does not believe in direct democracy. India believes in indirect democracy. That is, you don't decide, your elected representatives decide for you. So this is also political and social democracy. This is an important component that everyone and anyone will have the same electoral role and you have the right to contest elections. So our democracy is so important that we have kept it as a part of basic structure doctrine, so you can understand this part. And all elements of democracy are: number one, executive is responsible to the legislature, universal adult franchise, periodic elections, rule of law, independence of judiciary, absence of discrimination on certain grounds. These are the manifestations of democratic elements of Indian polity. So democracy is the very vein through which passes through almost every organization, every structure in India, whether you're talking of Gram Sabhas or all the way till the parliament. So this is, you should understand this. And the very big word, republic. This is the elected head, will be the head of the state. There will be no dynasty. So we took parliamentary democratic model from England, but the parliamentary model from England and ours it's on a different footing. Why? Because in England there is constitutional monarchy. The head of the state is actually the king or the queen or a monarch. In India, as compared to this, the public offices are open to all of us. Then our objectives. Now the word justice, social, economic and political, I hope you know, was the tagline of the Russian Revolution, okay, or rather the motto of Russian Revolution. So we decided to do what is called as distributive justice. Everyone should have social, political and economic justice. So I asked this to myself and I asked this to Dr. Ambedkar. Dr. Ambedkar was a great fan or a great follower of the French Revolution. The tagline or the motto of the French Revolution was liberty, equality and fraternity. And I asked myself, I'm curious, why did Dr. Ambedkar use the word justice before liberty, equality and fraternity? And the answer to this is that Dr. Ambedkar believed that the epitome of a welfare state, the pinnacle where you have to reach, is justice. Nothing bigger than justice, social, economical and political. That is why he repeated these lines in DPSPs also. As I said, liberty, equality and fraternity were the mottos of French Revolution and Dr. Ambedkar was really impressed by this, and that is why this was the next part. Now liberty has got two connotations. One is negative and one is positive. Negative says there should be an absence of restraint. Now when I say absence of restraint, does not mean that there cannot be reasonable grounds of restriction. There can be, but apart, it cannot be arbitrary, it cannot be random, it cannot be discriminatory. Second important part is positive liberty. That is, even with minus of absence of physical restraints, there can be some blockages on you which does not let you develop as a complete individual. So if I want to give you an opportunity to develop as an individual, that is why I will give you positive liberty. That is why in the Maneka Gandhi case and later in the Francis Corrales Mullen case, the Supreme Court interpreted the word life given in Article 21 as life is living with choice and dignity. Choice and dignity. I hope you're understanding. So those are very important words. It is two things. One is negative, one is positive. Also, please remember, no liberty can be absolute. It has to be qualified. Very beautifully described by Montesquieu. Liberty is the freedom to do everything. Freedom to do everything within what the law allows you. Awesome description. If you understand this, you can discuss for a lifetime. Next is equality. We are talking of all types of equality. Whether it is political equality under Article 325 to 326, which deals with voting and the electoral powers, economic equality under Article 39, which deals with all the DPSPs, then civic equality under Article 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18, no discrimination. You talk of any kind of equality, India's equality concept is based on Preamble, it is based on DPSP, it is based on fundamental rights, everywhere you notice. Next important is, we have to be very, very careful of this word. India is not a true federation. India that is Bharat shall be a union of states, says Article 1. Now, what does that mean? That I still have to have a spirit of fraternity, despite the fact that we are not a true federation. Also, there are so many numbers of race and so many numbers of religions and so on and so forth. There has to be that spirit of fraternity. How do you ensure that? So, how do you ensure a sense of brotherhood? For example, things like fundamental duties applicable to all the citizens. Single citizenship, applicable to all citizens. We are all Indians. We are not citizens of Punjab and we are not citizens of Kerala. We are not citizens of Assam. We are citizens of India as a whole. This is our fraternity. So what is the importance of preamble? First of all, whatever I've just spoken in the last few minutes itself, you'll understand this is philosophical. What was the underlying wisdom? What was the thought process? So political, moral and religious philosophy is getting independent or rather indicated in the preamble. This is the political horoscope or the keynote of the Constitution of India. This is very beautifully explained. So, these were great legal philosophers and great giants, wise men. The way they utilize this can also be asked a question. So, you can describe these words as what are the parts of this. Now, there was a case called as Berubari case of 1960 in which the Supreme Court, erroneously probably because it has been overruled later, okay, the constitutional bench decided that the preamble is not a part of the Constitution of India. So, you have to read the Constitution of India as a separate structure and preamble as a separate structure. This is going to be requiring a huge detailed discussion. Please pardon me, I cannot do it on a YouTube video, okay, but this is very, very important. But later on in 1973 Kesavananda Bharati case, okay, this Berubari case was overruled and now it has been understood that the preamble is an integral part of the Constitution of India. So you should remember this as a huge question. Berubari case had decided that the same Supreme Court in Berubari case, constitutional bench had decided that that preamble is not a part, but the Kesavananda Bharati case decided that it is a part. Is it amendable? I don't think I need to prove it. Okay, the proof is in the pudding itself. Okay, so we have seen this. 42nd Amendment 1976, Madam Indira Gandhi had amended it. It has been amended. Also remember that it has been amended only once, and also remember that there are three words: socialist, secular and integrity. Many of the students miss the word integrity. Don't miss this word. There were three words that were added. However, these are non-justiciable. That is, they cannot be enforceable through the courts. It is not a source of power, neither it is a source of limitation. So, preamble is a political philosophy. Okay, it is neither the source of power, it is not the source of limitation. It is only when you get confused, when you are not able to be, when you are not sure of whether you are understanding the Constitution or not. In other words, when you are in doubt, then you look at the preamble. Till that time, it is neither a source of power nor a source of limitation. Another important part, the date mentioned in the preamble was 26 November 1949. That was the date, that was the last reading of the preamble took place. Does not mean that the entire Constitution got enforced. The enforcement of the Constitution happened on 26 January 1950 to coincide with the Purna Swaraj Declaration that had happened on 26 January 1930. So, we may wanted to make a political association with the enforcement of the Constitution. The date mentioned is 26 November 1949, on which only a few articles went into force. Rest or the majority of the articles of the Constitution came into force only on 26 January 1950. So, my friends, in this limited period of time, I think I've been able to summarize it. All right. I hope you are understanding and you're wise enough to understand that there's far more to it than what can be done on a YouTube video. I welcome you to join our courses. Okay, our courses are available to you. I've already told you the reduced prices. If you want to join, use my code SIDLIVE, SIDLIVE, and I'll be very happy to teach you. In the words of Unacademy, let's crack it. Until next time, God bless and thank you.